What is competition to you? Answer that question in your head. What is competition? I would venture to say that many of you said the first word that came to your mind was win, and then the second word was lose. For many of you. For some of you, when you heard the word competition and you had to define it in your own head for your own person, you probably thought pressure. For some of you, you probably thought fear. All right? How messed up is that? Okay? When we're trying to do something, we're trying to compete, and we have this totally distorted outlook on it. What do I always say about competition, about practices? What is our focus?
The process.
The process. And what does that mean? What's that mean? What's the process mean?
You're now getting better every day.
The process is about what you have to do, the task at hand. Taking care of the nuts and bolts of the activity. Focusing on the right things. Focusing on the job. Having a positive attitude. Controlling those things that you control. You can control your attitude. That's the one thing you can control. Living in the moment. You know? Where do you think we get our view of competition? Where do you get your view of competition? Who taught you what competition was about?
TV.
Parents? Media? Okay? Friends? Peers? Okay? We have been taught, this is what I believe, we have been taught that competition is about winning and losing. And winning is what? Winning is what?
Success.
Success, and it's good. And losing is what? Failure. Is that true? No, that's not true. Do you honestly believe that? Do you honestly believe that losing is not failure? Raise your hand if you honestly believe that losing is not failure. I think some of you are lying. Okay? Because I believe that. Competition is, in its essence, in what we look at it, is about the process. It's about preparing. It's about strategy. It's about making yourself better. It's about addressing the needs to be able to attack your opponent. It's about taking care of all those little things. Now, and that happens in practice. We take care of that in practice. And we take care of it out on the mat or in the arena. It doesn't change. We're still focused on the same things. But what happens when you get in the arena, or what happens today when I said, okay, challenge match. I used that term, challenge match. I used challenge match. I read names. So-and-so and so-and-so, challenge match. And immediately, what happened? The ante changed, didn't it? I upped the ante. Okay? I shoved a big stack of chips out on the table. Moved all in. Because now I said challenge match. Oh, challenge match. It's real. My pride's on the line. Right? Did you get a little nervous when I said that? Some of you? Was it different than just going and wrestling matches regularly in the room with just live wrestling? For some of you? Was it? Yeah. I know it was. It changed your emotions. Which you have to work on. You have to work on because consistency is everything. You should focus on competition the same in here as you do out in the arena and vice versa. You should have the same even keel, level-headed, approach to it. It's still about the process. It's about the nuts and bolts. You still about the mantra that you tell yourself. Because many times the mantra that we tell ourselves, we hear competition, we hear regular match, we hear, whatever, challenge match, and our mantra in our head changes. We go from all the little things that we remind of, work through fatigue, stay in position, move your feet, angles, attack, all that stuff. We go from remind ourselves all those little mantras to our mantra being win, 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 don't lose, don't lose, don't lose. Is that a very positive way to approach competition? How many of you have done that? I got to win, I got to win, I got to win. We've all said it. I've said it. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the here and now? No, you're focusing on something in the future. You're focusing on something that because you're focusing on it, it might not happen because you're taking away what you should be focusing on. The actual activity. You know, Chinese philosopher said, I assume he's Chinese. He said, tomorrow is a mirage. Tomorrow's a mirage. It's what we make it is to be in our mind. We don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow. We can kind of guess, we can prepare, but we really don't know. But when you think nothing about winning, you're thinking about tomorrow. You're thinking about the future. You're thinking about something that might or might not happen. You're not thinking about what you should be thinking about, the task at hand. This is a great study because we've been talking about the process for over 10 years. We've been harping on it. And then the Seattle Seahawks hired this new football coach named Pete Carroll. And he starts talking about the process. And it's like, wow, we're on the same page. All right? And now you start to hear, like, Russell Wilson in interviews. And what's he talk about? Preparation. It's almost a joke, you know, like, oh, this robot's going to come on and he's going to tell me about, you know, preparation and taking care of your work, and, you know, this and that, and it's all about the next game. It's all about this week. It's all about today. I think they use the term have a championship day, or today, you know, make today your championship, or something like that. Each day is important, and it's so right. It's so what is right about athletics that a lot of people don't get. You can't will a win. You can't say, oh, I got to win, I got to win, I got to win, and then it's going to happen. That's BS. Much of what we get about winning and losing is from our parents and from media. I'm going to give you a prime example about this. This is great. Okay? This was an article done by Danny O'Neill of 710 Sports. He's a writer, pretty good writer. I think he actually wrestled when he was growing up. Okay? And I'm going to read you the article, and I'm going to point some things out. Now, I want you to listen to how many times the word loss, lose, win, victory, must win, things like that are used, and who they're used by. Okay, Seattle plays its final road game of the regular season in the spot that it hopes to play its next road game, New York. Are they talking about the present, or are they talking about the future there? They're talking about that mirage. They don't know if it's going to happen or not. They hope it does. Well, New Jersey, actually, as the Seahawks conclude their road schedule against the Giants at MetLife Stadium, the site of this year's Super Bowl, or this season's Super Bowl. Seattle's ability to reach the ultimate destination. The ultimate destination. I thought the ultimate destination was Valhalla, but according to this guy, I guess the ultimate destination is New Jersey. Anyway, doesn't depend on the outcome of Sunday's game, at least not technically, but this game against the Giants constitutes a pretty good checkup for the Seahawks' postseason chances. Coming off last week's loss in San Francisco. Chances. Chances. What's that word mean to you? What could happen? It's almost statistical. It's like, or even a crapshoot. Chances. And then he goes on, and he quotes the coach. We need to be right, Coach Pete Carroll said. What's that mean? Did he say we need to win? Did he say that we can't lose? We need to be right. What does being right to you mean? Being right to me means, in the wrestling format, is working really hard. Preparing yourself to the utmost level. Staying in position. Having a go-to shot. Getting out from underneath. Grinding on top. Beating the crap out of people. It has nothing to do with winning or losing. And then he goes on. The right. Otherwise, people will start worrying that sometimes something is wrong with the Seahawks. Asking whether they peaked too soon, or lack of offensive punch, or any other things that people find to fret about. People find to fret about. A team that is 2 victories away from matching the franchise record for wins in a season. Does the record really matter? No. What matters? Today. To lose to the 49ers by 2 points in a hard-fought game in which Seattle was penalized 9 times and had a punt block is one thing. But to lose on the road to the Giants, team whose playoff hopes are null and void, is something else entirely. A great deal has been spent this week analyzing the effort that can be expected from the Giants. Defensive lineman Justin Tuck, okay, this is a defensive lineman, this is a player. He talked about his professional obligation of putting forth his best effort. Can you tell me what that is in our terms in this program, your professional obligation? I said it the first day of practice. It starts with an A. Accountability. Sorry. Accountability. That's what he's talking about. You're accountable. When you come in, you're accountable to your teammates, you're accountable to yourself, you're accountable to the coaches, you're accountable to the program, to do things right, to work hard, to not waste anybody's time. That's what the player's talking about. Does that have anything to do with winning or losing? No. Okay, moving on. But this game isn't about the Giants at all. It's not about the Giants. The outcome will be dictated by how well the Seahawks play. That might be one of the most intelligent sentences in this whole article. Let me repeat that. The outcome will be dictated by how well the Seahawks play. Really? Wow. Huh. Glad you told me that. Then he talks about some stats, and then we get to the coach again. And the coach says, we're starting to run the ball with commitment, which is good. That's coach. What's he talking about there? The process. We're starting to run the ball with commitment, which is good. If I was a coach, I'd say from over last weekend, we're starting to really attack some legs really well. We're starting to get to people's legs really well. We are. Okay? That's, in truth, now here comes back to the writer. He talks about some stats. And then from Carroll again, I think we're fine. Carroll said, I think we're in good shape. Okay? Pretty innocuous. I mean, he's probably just, basically, whatever, just saying that. But he probably believes